Hello YouTube, my name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch One, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title of the thumbnail of the video, this is my AEW Double or Nothing review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. If you are new here, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more rest of content, because I'm on the road to 11K before July. Follow all my social media down below in the description, and go check out my WWE SmackDown review on highlights also down on the channel. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, AEW Double or Nothing was a good show, and I give it a 10 out of 10. We're live on the pre-show. Escobar, Tony Schiavone, and Nigel McGuinness greet audience at home as Bia Ben, Zayday Steele, and Christopher Dale Smith their way to the ring. Divine Dominion follows. So we get Divine Dominion versus Bia Ben and Zayda Steele in a 5-minute challenge, AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Eliminator match. And this match right here, this was a squash match in my opinion. Megan Bain and Zayda Steele begin the action as the 5-minute time limit begins. The bell rings and Steele retreats out of the ring to regroup with Van and Daniels. She gets back inside and look to catch Megan Bang with a tornado DT, but Bang sees her coming and stops her. Steele tries rolling up Megan Bang, but Megan Bang blocks her and chases her around the ring. Van tags in and flies from the ring apron to rock Bang. She low bridge Megan Bang out of the ring over the top rope, but cross levels Van on the outside and dumps her back inside the ring. Megan Bang then fires off shoulders on Van in the corner and tags out to Cross as the clock approaches 2.5 remaining minutes. Cross levels Van with a basement clothesline and pins her, but Van kicks out. Cross fires off back elbows on Van in the corner, but Van catches Cross with a back elbow and looks to tag out to Steele. Cross stops her, but Van rocks Cross with an insecurity as a minute and a half remains on the clock. Steele tags in and delivers a head scissors to Cross. She rocks her with a step up knee and tags out to Megan Bang. 30 seconds are left on the clock as Megan Bang delivers a boot to Steele and delivers a double chokeslam to her with Cross for the win. The winners of the match, Divine Dominion. This was a squash tag team match. After the match, Megan Bang levels Daniels with a running knee. Anna Jay and Tay Mello makes their way out to the ring with a 2x4 pieces of wood and a lead pipe to their respective hands. Divine Dominion backs down. The Death Riders then make their way to the ring. The Ops follows. So we get the Death Riders accompanied by Maria Shafir versus the Ops in pre-show. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie to you, this was a okay tag team match. What it was, Wheeler, Yuta, and Anthony Bounce begin the action. The bell rings and the two lock up. Yuta wears down Bounce in the corner, but Bounce sends Yuta crashing into the corner spot first and fires off chops on his chest. Hook and Daniel Garcia tag in, but Daniel Garcia fires off stomps on the side of Hook's head. Hook tags out to Kazuchika Shibata, and Kazuchika Shibata stares down Daniel Garcia. Kazuchika Shibata walks Daniel Garcia with their right hand, but Claudio Castagnoli tags in and he exchanges right hands with Kazuchika Shibata. Claudio Castagnoli rains down right hands on Kazuchika Shibata in the corner, but Kazuchika Shibata fires off right hands of his own on Claudio Castagnoli and lands a drop kick on him in the corner. Hook tags back in and fires off right hands and left hands on Claudio Castagnoli's midsection, but Daniel Garcia tags back in and rains down right hands on Hook in the corner. Hook levels Daniel Garcia and tags out to Kazuchika Shibata. Kazuchika Shibata levels Daniel Garcia with right hands, but Wheeler Yuta tags in, but Kazuchika Shibata fires off forearms on him in the corner. Claudio Castagnoli tags in and delivers a triple boot to Kazuchika Shibata with Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta before Daniel Garcia tags back in and lands a chop on Kazuchika Shibata. Daniel Garcia and Kazuchika Shibata exchange shots with one another, but Kazuchika Shibata sends Daniel Garcia crashing into the mat face first. Hook tags in, but Wheeler Yuta drags him into the ring and fires off stomps on him with Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli tags back in and delivers a series of clotheslines to Hook in the corner with Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. Claudio Castagnoli pins Hook, but Hook kicks out and delivers a T-bone suplex to Daniel Garcia and lands a second T-bone suplex on Wheeler Yuta and Kazuchika on Wheeler Yuta, but Kazuchika Shibata and Hook lock in the red drones on Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. Claudio Castagnoli comes to Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia's aid, but Anthony Bowles fires off right hands on Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia then holds Anthony Bowles in place for Claudio Castagnoli to level him with the uppercut for the win. The winner of the match, the Death Riders. This was a okay tag team match. What it was. Shane Taylor Promotions then make their way to the ring. The Conglomeration, QT Marshall, Big Boom, AJ, Big Justice, the Wrestler, and Harley Cameron follow. So we get the Conglomeration, QT Marshall, Big Boom, AJ, with accompanied by Harley Cameron, Big Justice, and the Wrestler versus Shane Taylor Promotions, accompanied by Christian, XO, and that's it. And this match right here, this was a decent match right here. The bell rings and AJ rains down right. The bell rings and AJ rains down right hands on Charlie Bravo in the corner. Roderick Strong and Mark Briscoe tag in and follows suit, but Orange Cassidy tags in. Sean Dean tags in and rains down right hands on Cassidy in the corner with Bravo and Taylor. He follows it up with a modified Bronco Buster to Orange Cassidy, but Anthony Ogogo tags in and immediately tags out to Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor charged at Orange Cassidy in the corner, but Orange Cassidy moves out of the way and levels Anthony Ogogo with a shotgun drop kick. Lee Mortelli tags in, but Orange Cassidy catches him with a stun dog millionaire. Bravo tags back in and looks to roll up Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy blocks him and tags out to AJ. AJ fires off right hands on Taylor, but Taylor whips AJ into the corner and charges at him. AJ moves out of the way to send Shane Taylor crashing into the corner and sends him crashing out of the ring. Then lands a spine buster on Bravo. AJ extends up the top rope, but Christian trips him to Wrestler, and Harley Cameron gets in her face, and Harley Cameron rains down right hands on her on the outside. She high fives the Wrestler inside the ring. Roger Strong throws an Orange Cassidy at Shane Taylor and Lee Mortelli. He lands a backbreaker on Lee Mortelli and rocks Shane Taylor with a step up knee. But Mark Briscoe sets up a chair in the ring and uses it as a launching pad to fly over the top rope to take out Shane Taylor Promotions on the outside. Big Justice and the Wrestlers throw a Vita Coconut water at Shane Taylor Promotions in the corner. The Conglomeration and AJ land a quadruple powerbomb over Bravo and Shane Taylor, and AJ then pins Bravo for the win. The winner of the match, the Conglomeration, QT Marshall, and Big Boom AJ. This was a decent tag team match. What it was. After the match, Shane Taylor Promotions surrounded the Conglomeration, QT Marshall, Big Boom, AJ, Big Justice, and the Wrestler in the ring. Eddie Kingston music hits and he makes his way out with the candlestick in hand as Ortiz and Mace Warner follows him to fend off Shane Taylor's promotions. Alright. MJF confronts Mick Foley pre-show. And this was a pretty cool segment right here. Buy-in pre-show host Mick Foley and Renee Paquette return to the ring, and Mick Foley reveals that he thinks Darby Allin will walk out of Double or Nothing as AEW World Champion. And irate MJF storms out of the ring to make it clear that he doesn't care what Mick Foley has to say, and takes several shots at him. Then says Mick Foley is an underdog like Darby Allin is. He says underdogs lose when their backs are against the wall, but Mick Foley asks MJF to let him take in his moment because he never thought he would feel the way that he does right now in the ring again in his life. Mick Foley says he lost a lot of matches, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson might recall a couple of those matches he won. He says he never had a match that ended in a 2 minutes and 15 seconds like MJF did when he lost the AEW World Champion to Darby Allin. Then says there are shades of himself and Darby Allin, but Darby Allin is still younger. He says Darby Allin will take both the AEW World Championship and MJF hair from him. Then says he never noticed MJF had wavy hair until now. Is going to wave goodbye tonight. MJF low blows Mick Foley, but Darby Allin runs out to the ring and forces MJF to back down. Mick Foley tells Darby Allin that John Moxley told him to watch a match that Darby Allin took part in. Then says as he's watched Darby Allin succeed, it felt like himself succeeding because Darby Allin was shy and never picked for stardom. He tells Darby Allin to win tonight for the weird people and those who were told that they can't do it. We are live on the main show. Escobar, Tony Schiavone, and Nigel McGuinness greet audience at home once again as Adam Copeland and Christian Cage make their way to the ring. FTR and Stokely follows. So we get the first match. So we get FTR coming by Stokely versus Adam Copeland and Christian Cage in a New York City Street Fight I Quit match for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie to you. This match was amazing. This match was amazing. That's all I gotta say. Amazing match. The bell rings and Cage and Copeland stare down Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. FTR regroups with Stokely on the outside, and Harwood flies off right hands on Cage. Cage levels Harwood with a clothesline and rains down right hands on him. They then bites his head. They bites his head as Copeland brawls with Wheeler on the outside. Cage delivers a back body drop to Harwood, but Stokely hands Harwood a piece of barbed wire, and looks to hit Christian Cage with it. Christian Cage jams the barbed wire into Harwood's arm to take him down and wraps the barbed wire around the middle rope. Then sends Harwood crashing into it chest first and stomps on his spine. Harwood refused to quit. Christian Cage whips Harwood with a belt, and Copeland takes the belt from Cage and leads and lash Harwood and Wheeler with it. Then chokes out Harwood with it. Harwood doesn't quit, but Wheeler slides Christian Cage's arm into a chair and stomps on it. Copeland props a ladder onto one of the barricades and suplex Harwood on the top of it. Then grabs a table from under the ring and sets it up on the outside. Copeland drags Wheeler onto the apron, but Stokely grabs Copeland's ankle to open the door for Harwood to rock him with a right hand. Copeland and Harwood tumble out of the ring over the top rope, and Wheeler cracks a chair across Copeland's spine and places the chair around Copeland's neck and sends him crashing into the ring post. Harwood grabs a toolbox from the ringside area, but Christian Cage fights off Harwood and grabs a pair of pliers from the toolbox, and he pinches Harwood's nostril with them, but Harwood refused to quit once again. Christian Cage then used the pliers to pinch Wheeler groin, but Harwood hits Christian Cage left hand with a chair. Adam Copeland Adam Copeland drags Harwood up one of the up on up one of the commentator's desk, but Harwood gets Copeland up and delivers an assistant power driver with Wheeler as Wheeler runs off the other commentary desk to send Copeland crashing on top of the first commentary. Wheeler used a cinder block to hit Christian Cage's left hand with and Harwood grabs a chair to hit the chin center block with Christian Cage lands the middle of it. Christian Cage refused to quit. Okay, Christian Cage bites the side of Harwood's head, then unscrews the top turnbuckle and uses it to choke out Harwood. Wheeler chokes Christian Cage with the piece of barbed wire from earlier in the match, and FTR lands a shadow machine on Cage. Wheeler hits Cage with the microphone, but Adam Copeland lands a pair of spears on Wheeler and Harwood. Adam Copeland cracks a chair repeatedly across Harwood and Wheeler's spine. Harwood grabs the microphone from the referee and begs Adam Copeland not to hit Harwood with the chair as a means of distraction. Adam Copeland from realizing that Stokely has snuck up on him. Stokely wraps a wrench around his fist and hits Adam Copeland with it, but Beth Copeland makes her way to the ring. She levels Stokely on the entrance ramp and goes after Wheeler. After Wheeler. But Harwood sends Beth crashing into the ring steps, face first, and use the table set up on the outside as gasoline before setting it on fire. Wheeler looks to send Beth through the flaming table, but Beth moves out of the way, and Wheeler accidentally sends Stokely through the flaming table. You know that when you put your hands on Adam Copeland's wife, Beth Copeland, they messed up. And that's all I gotta say. Harwood stacks Adam Copeland's head on top of a pile of chairs and tells him to quit if he wants to see his daughter again. He looks to deliver concerto to Adam Copeland, but Beth Copeland grabs the chair from him and then low blows Harwood. Christian Cage low blows Harwood, and Copeland delivers a power driver to him. Copeland and Cage chancing a sharpshooter crossface combination on Harwood, but Harwood refused to quit. Bay Finish retreats a spike the bat from under the ring, steps and slides into the ring, and Adam Copeland used spike the bat to cinch and the crossface on Harwood. Harwood quits. The winner and your new AEW World Tag Team Champions, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. This was a good match for what it was, and I love that moment when Beth Copeland came out and then attacked Stoke, didn't help. You know what I was trying to say, trying to help out Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. But that was a good moment. But anyway, Konosuke Takeshita then makes his way to the ring. Kazuchika Okada follows, and Don Callis joins the commentary desk. Alright, so we get the second match. So we get Kazuchika Okada accompanied by Don Callis versus Konosuke Takeshita for the International Championship. This was, in my opinion, this match was fantastic from the beginning all the way to the end. This match really told a story. The bell rings and the two men stare down one another. Takeshita set up for a raging fire, but Okada lands on his feet and drop kicks Takeshita out of the ring of the middle rope. He sends him crashing into one of the barricades on the outside spine first, then dumps him back in the ring and sends Takeshita crashing into the mat spine first. Takeshita looks to land a senton on Okada off the ropes, but Okada gets his knees up. Takeshita runs over Okada with a jumping knee strike and flies over the top rope to level Okada with a toe con heel on the outside. The two men return to the ring, and Okada sets up for a tombstone on Takeshita. Takeshita counters into a belly to back power driver on Okada, and the two men exchange strikes with one another on a ring apron. Okada levels Takeshita with a rainmaker to him on the ring apron, then connects with a DDT on him on the floor and gets him up one again. Don Callis interview stops. Don Callis interview and stops Okada from crashing, causing injury to Takeshita by driving him onto the floor. On the outside, Okada listens to Takeshita, but Takeshita lands a brainbuster on Okada on the floor. He dumps Okada back in the ring and delivers a boot to him, then drags him up the ropes and connects with a superplex on him. He immediately looks and lands another brainbuster on Okada, but Okada sets up for a rainmaker. Okada avoids it, but Takeshita lands a German suplex on Okada. Okada delivers a tombstone to Takeshita, but Takeshita responds with a blue thunder bomb to Okada. Okada sends Takeshita crashing into the mat, spine first, and sets up for the rainmaker, but Okada counters. It says right here. It says Okada counters. Yeah. It says right here. I found it. It says right here. It said Okada. What was I? It said Okada. It says Okada counters. So I don't know where I was at. It said Okada. What was I? It said here it is. I found it. It said Takeshita counters into a belly to back power driver on Okada, and the two men exchange strikes with one another on the apron. Okada levels Takeshita with a rainmaker to him on the ring apron, then connects with a DDT on him on the floor and gets him up one again. Don Callis interviews and stops Okada from causing injury, but Takeshita by driving him onto the floor on the outside. Okada listens to Takeshita, but Takeshita lands a brainbuster on Okada on the floor. He dumps Okada back in the ring and delivers a boot to him, then drags him up the ropes and connects. What was I? Superflex, brainbuster. Yeah, and then Okada. What was I? It says Okada back in the ring and delivers a boot to him, and then drags him up the ropes and connects with a superplex on him. He immediately looks to land another brainbuster on Okada, but Okada sets up for a rainmaker. Okada avoids it, but Takeshita lands a German suplex on Okada. Okada delivers a tombstone to Takeshita, but Takeshita responds with a blue thunder bomb to Okada. Okada sends Takeshita crashing onto the mat, spine first, and sets up for the rainmaker, but Okada counters into a pinfall. Okada kicks out at the last second, but Takeshita rains down right hands on Okada and delivers a rainmaker to him. Takeshita follows it up with a jumping knee on Okada and pins him, but Okada quickly kicks out. Takeshita then delivers a raging fire to Okada and pins him for the win. The winner of the match and your new AEW International Champion Konosuke Takeshita. This match was fantastic from the beginning to the end. After the match, Mark Davis, Rocky Romero, and Don Callis joined Takeshita and Okada in the ring. Takeshita squares up to fight against Okada, Rocky Romero, and Mark Davis, but the formerly injured Kyle Fletcher music hits and he makes his way out. Don Callis, Rocky Romero, and Okada hop out of the ring to leave Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita alone inside. Kyle Fletcher hugs Takeshita, but blindsides him with a clothesline, and Don Callis smiles on from the ring apron. Kyle Fletcher connects with a brainbuster on Takeshita, and the rest of the Don Callis family joins Kyle Fletcher in the ring. Okada and Kyle Fletcher both pick up the International Championship belt at the same time, but Okada agrees to hand it over. to Kyle Fletcher. Mark Davis and Rocky Romero get to catch up, and Kyle Fletcher hits him with the international championship belt. Mina Shikara make her way to the ring. Athena follows. So we get the next match. We get Athena versus Mina Shikara in a quarterfinal match for the 2026 Women's Orange Heart Foundation Cup tournament. And this match right here, I'm also say this match was not bad, but this was a pretty good match. The bell rings and Mina Shikara lands an arm drag on Athena. And she lands a drop kick on her and sends her crashing off the ropes with a kick to her. Then sends her crashing onto the ring apron spine first and sends her crashing into the ring step shoulder first. Athena charged at Mina Shikara in the corner, but Mina Shikara moves out of the way and begins to wear down Athena's knee, having already landed a dropkick on it. Mina Shikara sits out on Athena's knee, then rocks her with a forearm and stomps the back of Athena's knee as it's draped across the middle turnbuckle. Mina Shikara flies off the middle rope, but Athena catches Mina Shikara on her shoulders and sends her crashing into the mat spine first. Mina Shikara delivers a tornado to level Athena on the outside of the ring, then dumps her back inside and gets Athena in the electric chair position. She sends Athena crashing into the mat and looks to chance a figure 4 leg lock, but Athena fights off Mina Shikara and lands a hurricanrana on her. She sends Mina Shikara crashing into the mat head first with a boot and goes for a pin, but Mina Shikara kicks out. Athena extends to the top rope and sets up for an old face, but Mina Shikara avoids it and rolls up Athena. Athena kicks out, but Mina Shikara sends her crashing into the mat face first and pins her. Athena kicks out, but Mina Shikara chinks in a figure 4 leg lock on Athena. Athena crawls over to the bottom rope to break the fall, but Mina Shikara catches Athena with a back fist and looks to send her crashing into the mat. Athena escapes and locks Mina Shikara with a knee to her head, then delivers a tombstone to Mina Shikara and extends to the top rope. She lands an old face on Mina Shikara for the win. The winner of the match, Athena. This match was pretty good for what it was. Kyle O'Reilly then makes his way to the ring. John Moxley follows, and Jim Ross takes a seat at the commentary desk to replace Tony Schiavone. Let me take a sip of my water. Alright. So we get the next match: John Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly in a no time limit match for the Continental Championship. And this match right here, this was a fun match to watch. The bell rings and Kyle O'Reilly sweeps John Moxley's legs. John Moxley rains down right hands on Kyle O'Reilly, but Kyle O'Reilly sends John Moxley crashing out of the ring through the middle rope and connects with a jumping knee off the apron to take him out on the outside. Kyle O'Reilly delivers a kick to John Moxley's chest, then looks to land another kick on him. John Moxley moves out of the way. On Kyle O'Reilly's foot hits the ring post. He fires off right hands and left hands on Kyle O'Reilly midsection back inside the ring, then lands a dragon screw on Kyle O'Reilly. Back in the ring, Kyle O'Reilly delivers a kick to John Moxley's chest, then connects with a missile dropkick off the middle rope on him and cinches in an armbar on him. John Moxley managed to escape and locks in a half Boston Crab on Kyle O'Reilly, then takes it to the mat. Kyle O'Reilly crawls over the bottom rope to escape to hold, then transitions into an ankle lock. John Moxley escapes, but Kyle O'Reilly catches him with a curb stomp. The referee begins a 10 count, but both men make it to their feet and level one another with clotheslines, then exchange right hands and left hands with one another. But John Moxley levels Kyle O'Reilly with a lariat and follows it up with a Death Rider. He chants in a bulldog choke on Kyle O'Reilly, but Kyle O'Reilly reverses into an ankle lock. John Moxley reverses into an ankle lock of his own on the mat, and Kyle O'Reilly taps out. The winner is still your Continental, your AEW Continental Champion, John Moxley. This was a fun match to watch between John Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly. After the match, the Death Riders and the Commemoration joined their respective stablemates. John Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly in the ring. John Moxley extends his hand to Kyle O'Reilly as a show of respect, and Kyle O'Reilly shakes it. Samoa Joe then makes his way to the ring. Will Ospreay follows. So we get the next match. So we get Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe in a quarterfinals match for the 2026 Men's Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament. And this match right here, this was a good match in my opinion. Will Ospreay surprised Samoa Joe, blindsiding him with the Os Cutter. The bell sounds. Samoa Joe fires off chops on. Samoa Joe fires off chops on Will Ospreay's chest, but Will Ospreay runs over Samoa Joe with a back kick and dumps him out of the ring. Will Ospreay flies over the top rope to level Samoa Joe on the outside, then dumps him back in the ring and connects with a 450 splash on him. He goes for a pin, but Samoa Joe kicks out and Will Ospreay transitions into an armbar. Samoa Joe gets his foot on the bottom rope to break the hold. Will Ospreay looks to fly over the top rope to level Samoa Joe on the outside, but Samoa Joe cinches in a sleeper on Will Ospreay. He wheels Will Ospreay into one of the barricades on the outside neck first, then dumps him outside in the ring and continues to wear him down. Will Ospreay lands a double stomp on Samoa Joe's arm off the ropes, then levels him with a drop kick and sets up for an Os Cutter. Samoa Joe moves out of the way and Will Ospreay is sent crashing into the mat before Samoa Joe delivers a powerbomb to Will Ospreay and cinches in a crossface on him. He transitions into a neck and shoulder submission on Will Ospreay, but Will Ospreay gets his foot on the bottom rope to break the hold. Will Ospreay connects with a Styles Clash on Samoa Joe and pins him, but Samoa Joe kicks out and Will Ospreay sends him crashing into the mat. He looks to cinch in an armbar on Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe uses a 5 grip to block him and locks in a coquina clutch on him. Will Ospreay comes close to fading, but managed to get his foot on the bottom rope to break the hold. Will Ospreay then delivers a pair of hidden blades to Samoa Joe, pins him for the win. The winner of the match, Will Ospreay. This match was good too. Bandito then makes his way to the ring. Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana follows, with Tony Schiavone having swiped back out with Jim Ross at the commentary desk. So we get the next match. So we get Swerve Strickland coming by Prince Nana versus Bandito in the quarterfinals match for the 2026 Men's Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament. And this match right here, this wasn't a bad. This match right here, I'm also say this was a solid match. What it was, the bell rings. Bandito lands a thirst kick on Swerve Strickland. He follows it up with a Tidris and gorilla press to Swerve Strickland that sends him crashing out of the ring. Then delivers a drop kick to him of the ring apron and whips Swerve Strickland into one of the barricade spine first. He sends Swerve Strickland crashing into another barricade midsection first. Then sits him on a chair and flies off the ring apron with a cannonball to level Swerve Strickland on the outside. The two men return to the ring and Swerve Strickland lands a German suplex on Bandito to send him crashing into the corner. Bandito responds with a tornado to Swerve Strickland off the top rope, then levels him with a trio of forearms and lands a kick on Swerve Strickland's midsection. As Swerve Strickland is hanging off the top rope, Bandito lands a German suplex to Swerve Strickland and follows it up with a frog splash to him of the top rope, then goes for a pin, but Bandito kicks out. Swerve Strickland catches Bandito with a jumping flatliner, then connects with a swerve stomp on Bandito off the ropes. Bandito responds with a reverse hurricanrana to Swerve Strickland off the ring apron, then gets him back into the ring and lands a 21 plex on Swerve Strickland. Bandito and Swerve Strickland look to roll up roll up one another, but Swerve Strickland gets Bandito set up. Gets Bandito set up. Yeah, gets Bandito. Hold on. Somebody calling me. Hello? Alright, after the video I will. Alright. It says, what was that? Bandito and Swerve Strickland looks to roll up one another, but Swerve Strickland gets Bandito set up for a code red. Bandito counters into reverse Hurricanrana, but Swerve Strickland delivers a double underhook, delivers to Bandito, and follows it up with a house call for the win. The winner of the match, Swerve Strickland. This match was not bad, but this was a solid match. Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, and Chris Stanley and Tekla then all make their way to the ring. So we get Tekla versus Chris Stanley versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida in a fatal 4-way match for the AEW Women's World Champion. And this match right here, this match was good. So yeah, good fatal 4-way match. The bell rings and Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, and Chris Stanley land a triple kick on Tekla. The three women continue triple teaming her, with Chris Stanley landing a running senton on Tekla and Shida delivering a running knee to her on the outside as Tekla is draped off the ring apron. Chris Stanley and Shida double team on Jamie Hayter inside the ring, but Tekla lands a boot on the side of Chris Stanley's head as Chris Stanley is draped through the middle rope. Chris Stanley stacks Tekla and Jamie Hayter up in the corner to deliver a splash to both of them before rocking Jamie Hayter with a shoulder tackle. Jamie Hayter and Statlander try leveling one another with the clothesline, but both stay standing. Tekla looks to fly off the top rope, but Jamie Hayter and Statlander catches her. Shida then levels Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander with a drop kick off the top rope. Tekla and Jamie Hayter roll Shida up and Statlander at the same time, but Chris Statlander and Shida both kick out. All four women then take turns pinning each other, but Chris Statlander clotheslines Jamie Hayter out of the ring over the top rope. Tekla lands a crossbody to level Statlander, Shida, and Jamie Hayter on the outside. She sends Shida crashing into one of the barricades, spine first, and sends Jamie Hayter crashing into the ring steps, shoulder first, but Statlander lands a chop on Tekla, delivers a body slam to her back inside the ring. Tekla delivers a superplex to Chris Statlander off the top rope, but Shida delivers a superplex off on her own to Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter delivers a superplex to Shida, but Chris Statlander levels her with a disgust lariat. Tekla spears Statlander before all four women exchange right hands with one another. Statlander and Jamie Hayter deliver double kicks to Tekla, and Shida then levels one another with cross bodies. Tekla rolls up Shida, but Shida kicks out and Tekla catches her with a roundhouse kick to her head. Statlander scoops up Tekla, but Tekla escapes and Jamie Hayter lands a suplex on Chris Statlander. She runs over Tekla with a big boot, but Shida takes out Shida takes out Statlander with a boot. Jamie Hayter then delivers a backbreaker to Tekla, but Tekla transitions into an octopus on Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter escapes by delivering a backbreaker to Tekla, then levels her with a Hayter mine and goes for the pin. Shida breaks the fall by delivering a running knee to Hayter, then lands a Falcon Arrow on her and wears down the leg with a submission hold. Chris Statlander grabs Shida, but Shida slaps Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander rains down right hands and stomps on Shida, then sends her crashing into the ring steps and levels Jamie Hayter. She gets back in the ring, then rocks Tekla with a pair of super kicks and sends her crashing into the mat. She goes for a pin, but Sheeta breaks the fall by cracking her candlestick across Christiana's spine. Jamie Hatter pulls Sheeta out of the ring and levels her with a clothesline, but Tekla catches Statlander with a curb stomp in the ring for the win. The winner and still your AEW Women's World Champion, Tekla. This was a good Fatal 4-Way match. The Don Callis family, the Dons, and Demand then make their way to the ring. Jericho and the Hurt Syndicate and the Elite follows as Taz has taken a seat at commentary desk. Alright, so we get the next match right here. So we get Team Jericho, Chris Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, the Elite versus Team Ricochet, Don Callis family, the Dogs, and Demand, and a Stadium Stampede match. This match stole the show, and that's all I gotta say. The Bell Rings and Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Jericho, Jack Perry, and Kenny Omega began brawling with Ricochet, Tora Luna, Bishop Khan, Clark Connors, and David Finlay, Mark Davis, and Andrade in the center of the ring. Kenny Omega fires off stumps on Ricochet in the corner, and Lashley, the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, Shelton Benjamin, and Jericho take turns landing clotheslines and knee strikes on Ricochet in the corner. Shelton Benjamin then chokes Ricochet onto his teammate on the outside to take him out. Bobby Lashley and Mark Davis exchange strikes on the outside, and Khan and Shelton Benjamin do the same. Andrade delivers the Three Amigos to Jack Perry in the ring, and Mark Davis David Finlay fires off right hands on Kenny Omega's midsection on the outside of the ring. Shelton Benjamin sends Andrade crashing out of the ring, but the Dogs double team Shelton Benjamin to sweep him off his feet. Davis delivers a power driver to Bobby Lashley on the outside, but Luna dumps Jericho out of the ring over the top rope, then gets Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Jack Perry stacked up on his shoulders. Then delivers a triple Samoan drop to the three-man and wears down Kenny Omega with an ambitional stretch. Team Ricochet creates a human chain to give Luna extra leverage on Kenny Omega as he still has the ambitional stretch cinched in on him. MVP hits Ricochet with the cane to break the human chain, and Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson fly out of the ring to level several of their opponents on the outside. Bobby Lashley flies over the top rope to level Team Ricochet on the outside, and Jericho extends to the top rope. He lands a crossbody to take out Team Ricochet, and Shelton Benjamin drag Khan up the entrance ramp. Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, and Chris Jericho then lands a Hurricanrana off the top rope to the Dogs, Andrade, and Ricochet. Matt Jackson sends Connors crashing into one of the barricades on the outside and sets up a table as Nick Jackson sets up another one. Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson extends up the top rope as the Dogs lay on the table, but the Dogs retreat through the crowd. In the backstage area, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley brawl with Kong and Luna through the backstage area. Bobby Lashley changed in a hurt lock on Luna, but Luna fires off back elbows on Lashley to escape the hole. Blackheart Leo Rush, who was Lashley's former manager in WWE, appeared out of nowhere, and Lashley retreats. Leo Rush cinched in a sleeper on Luna as the Gates of Unagi and the Hurt Syndicate continue brawling through the backstage area. Jericho and Kenny Omega and Andrade with a double back elbow, the Young Bucks and the Dogs brawl near the merchandise stand. and Matt Jackson and David Finlay with they replaced title belt. The four men continue to brawl in the corner in the Concourse Arena, and Connor's is super kick and onto an escalator, and it sent up set it up. Was to set up it. Andrade takes a selfie with a female fan in the ringside area, but Luchasaurus appears behind him with a blonde wig and allows Kenny Omega to hold Andrade in place, but Andrade breaks free and gets Luchasaurus' face. Luchasaurus responds by spraying mist into Andrade's face as Jericho grabs a bag and dumps several tennis balls out into the ring. Chris Jericho delivers a suplex to Ricochet on the top of tennis balls. Then changes the walls of Jericho on Ricochet. Ricochet fights off Jericho and David Finlay. Jack Perry brawl and catering. Tommy Invincible gets into David's face and beating down Jack Perry, but Davis levels him with a right hand. Andrade joins the brawl and catering, but Stanham Shy sneaks up behind him and sends someone crashing on top of the table as the food fight breaks out. Matt Jackson and Finlay and Connors with the garbage can on the head, then places Connors in a shopping cart with a can on the top, with the trash can on his head. He sends Connors down the entrance ramp and Nick Jackson changes him with a super kick. Shelton Benjamin fires off right hands on Luna, but David Finlay hits Shelton Benjamin with a shillelagh. Bobby Lashley reemerges at ringside and gets Khan up on the shoulders, but David Finlay hits Bobby Lashley with the shillelagh and Connor spears him on the outside. Chris Jericho, old friend Luther, sends him a giant tennis racket in the ringside area. Chris Jericho cracks it repeatedly across Ricochet's spine on make tennis court. Then use tennis ball launcher and pin tennis. And plant tennis balls at Ricochet and sends him crashing into the garage door. He goes for a pin, but Ricochet kicks out. The Hurry Center Kick suplexes the Dogs on the top of the tennis balls in the ring, with the Young Bucks joining the four men in the ring. The Young Bucks land a double super kick on Connors, Finlay, and Luna, but Luna stays standing. The Young Bucks and Lashley land a triple super kick on Luna, and Lashley follows it up with a spear to Luna. Davis wanders through the parking lot and finds a knife made with Jack Perry in a golf cart. The Jungle Express bus runs over Davis, the golf cart, and in a car before Jack Perry emerges from it. At ringside, the Young Bucks look to deliver a sunset flips the Dogs off in the ring. Abram to send them crashing through the tables. On the outside, the Dogs hold on the ropes, but Kenny Omega delivers a Snapdragon suplex to the Dogs in the ring and lands one on Andrade. Alright, Kenny Omega sets up another table on the outside as Bobby Lashley spears Davis, who has seemingly managed to moves out of the way before Jack Perry could hit him with the Jungle Express bus. through the table on the outside. Team Jericho began flying off the top rope and sends Team Ricochet through the series of tables. Kenny Omega delivers a one-winged angel on Andrade off the ring apron through the table. Um, inside the ring, Ricochet is left alone with Team Jericho. Shelton Benjamin delivers a jumping knee to Ricochet and Bobby Lashley spear him. Jack Perry lands a running knee on Ricochet, and the Young Bucks connects with the BT trigger on him. Kong pushes Ricochet out of the way and absorbs a B trigger from Kenny Omega, and Team Jericho then delivers a 7-way super kick to Kong. Jericho then lands a lion saw on Kong off the ropes, and pins him for the win. The winner of the match, Chris Jericho. This match stole, this Stampede match really stole the show, and that's all I gotta say. MJF then makes his way to the ring. Darby Allin follows. Alright, so we get the main event of the evening. So we get Darby Allin versus MJF in a title versus hair match for the AEW World Championship. This is the match of the year right here. And the bell rings as Darby Allin lands a scoop power slam on MJF. He goes for a pin, but MJF kicks out, and Darby Allin flies off the ring. MJF steps out of the way and sends Darby Allin crashing into the commentary desk. He powerbombs Darby Allin onto the ring apron spot first and dumps him back in the ring. Then gloats. Darby Allin and MJF teeters on the ropes, but MJF delivers an over the shoulder power slam to Darby Allin off the middle rope. Darby Allin looks to land a coffin drop on MJF off the top rope, but MJF moves out of the way and lays the ring steps on their side outside of the ring. MJF sends Darby Allin crashing on the top of the ring steps with a power drop, but Darby Allin low blows MJF in the ring and goes for a pin. MJF kicks out and Darby Allin changes in a Scorpion Deathlock on him. MJF escapes and sets up for a heat seeker, but Darby Allin avoids it and delivers a Scorpion Death drop to MJF. Darby Allin and MJF take turns rolling up one another, but Darby Allin catches MJF with the cold red and pins him. MJF kicks out, and the two men pulled themselves up to their feet. Darby Allin rolls up MJF, but MJF kicks out and rolls out of the ring. Darby Allin flies out of the ring and levels MJF with the outside, taking out one of the cameramans in the process. Several medical officials check on the cameraman as MJF gets Darby Allin up on his shoulders and takes him up the entrance ramp. He sits Darby Allin in a barber chair and grabs the clippers, but Darby Allin lands a boot to knock the clippers out of MJF's hand and lays him on the table and held the clippers. Darby Allin extends up the Darby Allin extends up the scaffolding at the entrance tunnel, then lands a coffin drop on MJF of it. He chances in a Scorpion Deathlock on MJF, but MJF escapes and Darby Allin catches him with a Scorpion Death drop. Darby Allin then extends to the top rope, but MJF shakes it to trip up Darby Allin and lands a tombstone on Darby Allin off the ropes for the win. The winner of the match and your new AEW World Champion, MJF. And this was the match of the year right here between Darby Allin and MJF. After the match, medical officials get Darby Allin onto the stretch, get Darby Allin onto a stretcher, and straps him onto it. MJF hops onto the ring apron and stands on the stretcher, holding up the AEW World Champion belt. Kevin Knight turns out of the ring to force MJF to retreat, then extends to the top rope and blindside Darby Allin with the crossbody off of it, out of nowhere, as Darby Allin is still strapped onto the stretcher, and the show goes off the air. Now, AEW Double or Nothing was a good show for what it was, and I give that show a 10 out of 10. But the way that Kevin Knight turned on Darby Allin, how you think Speedball Mike Bailey feels about this? I know that Speedball Mike Bailey is somewhere backstage just crashing out, and I know he's pissed off. But Kevin Knight, you got some explaining to do. It got some explaining to do on Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. And that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, AEW Double or Nothing was a good show, and I give this show a 10 out of 10. And that's all I gotta say. But if you guys enjoy my AEW Double or Nothing review on highs, make sure you guys full watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content because I'm on the road to 11K before July. Follow all my social media down below in the description, and go check out my WWE SmackDown review on highs. And I'm going to have an upcoming world premiere for my AEW Double or Nothing review and highlights at around 5 o'clock a.m. on YouTube. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Bullet Squad, Too Sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too Sweet. Gang.